Well, look, it looks like we're winding down here a little bit, and I'm joined by the main woman herself, and only for you and your team, and we'll talk about all the other people, but I have to give you credit for what you've done today. Local Link, Louth Meath and Fingal has been such a successful day already. There are people dancing, cheering, eating, having cups of tea, seeing people they haven't seen for ages, and only for you guys. Honestly, this is so important, a rural link to the community. It's about building a new network, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I suppose what I saw today, which I have never seen before, is the fact that I saw people from different counties meeting each other that they hadn't seen in a long time. Yeah. Now, I understand when people meet each other from the same county and they live in different parishes. But this was different counties, and I had never seen that before. Yeah. And I thought wasn't that fantastic to see, just to see the changes that it brings around, you know?
Yeah. And you've put so much work and effort into this. How? I won't say easy, there's nothing easy about organising this, but this was quite a difficult time. And, you know, to be doing something which is key, which is the local link for Louth Meath and Fingal, that's a massive, massive undertaking for anybody. Like, how did you get here? Was there a lot of work behind this?
Look, it's like everything else. It started really small, and we were only Meath at the time, and so it was an awful lot easier and an awful lot simpler, and we didn't have as many passengers, and everything was much smaller. And it started down in the shopping centre in Navan, and it has just grown over the time. But I suppose the key behind it all really is the staff that we have, the committee that we have in place, and the responsibilities that people take on from year to year. And so every year it gets a little bit easier, it gets a little bit smoother. You know, you kind of knock off the things that don't work so well, you bring up the things that do work so well, and so that really, it evolved more than anything else.
I'm laughing here because you must have come up against so many obstacles along the way, but you just got over them, and now you're here today, and after such a wonderful event. How has it been for you? What's the experience like?
I mean, today, when you see people out dancing, when I see particularly my wheelchair users coming in and enjoying the day and knowing that they would love to be out there dancing themselves, do you know, it makes your heart feel good. It's not even that it makes me feel proud, it makes me realise like that how fortunate we all are. Yeah. We don't even realise it ourselves until you look around. Yeah. But people had such a wonderful time in there. The dancing was the best dancing we ever had. We even had line dancers out there. I mean, I just think it's wonderful. Yeah. And it's an awful pity that there isn't more of this. Yeah.
We see this is the thing as well. Even I was standing there and I was near to tears, and I'll tell you why. Because I miss this kind of community get together. I miss the links that people really should have in place. And from a time where I was growing up with this kind of community, we have split and divided and separated. And again, it's got to do with people living online in a different world, and also just isolation. But you've created something wonderful, which I really think is fantastic. Damien English was talking to us earlier. He's saying 17 years ago, this was just a little baby, and look where you've come.
Yeah, well, I suppose like everything else, it just evolved into what it is. But I think the driving force behind it was when we were christened and we were called Meath Accessible Transport, and accessibility was what it was all about. So that didn't matter whether you're a wheelchair user, whether you're a person with disability, whether you were just an older person, or whether you were, I suppose, isolated for one reason or another. The service was there for it to be given to people, and so really that's where it evolved from, the service.
Yeah. How important is it to follow your dream? Because you started with this idea and you've put it into play and you've worked very hard at it. What words of encouragement would you have for anybody who has a belief that they can make a difference to lives if they work hard enough and have a team, which you have? You have a wonderful team of supporters, volunteers here today. There was a lot of people just doing bits and pieces behind the scenes, but they're very vital too, aren't they?
Every person plays their part, and every person has a part to play. And it's like building blocks. It's like when you have all the pieces in place, how it can come together. But like, it is about listening to people. It's about listening to what they want, and listening to, for me, listening to, as in not exactly the sad stories, but the bad stories of people who can't get to where they want to be because they haven't got transport. And to me, it is the greatest sin of all. Yeah.
Well, it's a gift as well, because guys, if you had been here today, and I think you should make a plan for next year, and anybody sitting at home who couldn't get out, the reason that there is a local link like this, and it's expanded into Fingal, it's in Louth and Meath as well, and you guys are just moving into places where people are isolated. But not just that, it's young communities of teenagers that need to get transport as well. You just reach out and find somebody like what Miriam is doing here is making a difference as well. You know, the fun thing I saw today is that, you know, you're talking about the dancing, but there was also a lot of people just who were happy to sit in their seats that weren't necessarily mobile, but they were having the best of fun.
And their feet were moving. And the amount of young people that were here today. That was also, somebody else said to me, the amount of people, amount of young people that were here, which is brilliant. Yeah, and then the amount of young people that we'd helping, volunteering for the day. Great. Yeah. I mean, you can't buy it.
No, you can't. Guys, we're so lucky to be here with the manager of Local Link, Louth Meath and Fingal. And I have to say, all credit to everybody here. It's just been amazing. The fun, the crack, the community, the sense of love, companionship, and the music was great as well.
And fantastic. Ray and Pat, oh my God. They're so great together. And their songs were brilliant. And everybody knew them and everybody was up dancing. Wonderful. And Ray can just get people going.
I know. I haven't heard the Huckle Book in I don't know how long.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. And it's brilliant. And also for all those people that showed up to show support to those people that need support as well. I mean, it's a team effort.
It is an absolute team effort. No man is an island, and that's for sure in this game. Yeah. There's nobody can stand alone in this. You have to stand with everybody.
Well, that's the key. There is fighting spirit still in us all. We're not giving up.
No, not yet. No. Not yet.
Not in you anyway. And you're not going to stop anytime soon.
No, we have to keep doing. We have to keep doing. We have to keep providing transport, and we just have to do it because there are so many people who need it.
And have you plans to expand it even more? Because I know you have new routes on at the moment, and obviously, guys, you have to use these routes so that they can continue to grow as well. So
that's the most important thing. Yeah, people, you just have to use the services. The services are there for you to use. Use them or lose them. It's the big message. Yeah. But people are using them. We see it 170,000 passenger journeys last year. We are nearly at that for this year, where we have a couple of months still to go.
Well, the real sign to me is when you actually see it in motion, because a lot of people talk about doing something, but I remember having this conversation with you last year that you were expanding and you're getting more buses on the roads and whatever. And I was standing yesterday in Navan and this beautiful white bus went by me and I saw Local Link on it and I went, yes!
Yeah, but I have to say the Local Link programme, thanks to the NTA, the Local Link programme has really taken off right across the country. And people now go to villages and towns all over the country and they see the Local Links. And that is fantastic. I think they've done a great promotional piece in kind of making it a part and parcel of everyday rural life. And hopefully we'll see more and more of it. It's all about, getting the services out there.
Well, you certainly have put the right service in the right place, and I think that's the key as well. And congratulations to Miriam McKenna. Well done.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we're here, and I'm delighted to say this has been an amazing day in Simonstown GFC. And the amount of supporters, workers, volunteers, guests, TDs, crew, and behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, musicians, and of course the people that matter at the moment, which are you people tuning in today, and also the people inside in the hall here. It's a credit to everybody showing support, and a credit to Miriam. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much indeed.